Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds. If you'd like to join the family, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Also, click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate on the discussion, you can join me most weekdays where I go live on YouTube around 4 p.m. Central Time, or outside of the YouTube I do. If you want to reach out to me, you could consider joining the Discord I created. There is a link for that down in the description below. Also down in the description below is a link to a Pinterest board. That is a great place for you guys to check out some of the different meals and recipes that I've been enjoying as I've been working towards my goal. Today is day 949 of my challenge to lose 300 pounds. So far, through a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet, I have been able to lose over 250 pounds. If anybody has any non-scale victories, I'd love to hear them. It is weigh-in Wednesday, so if you have any weigh-in or on-scale victories, I'd love to hear those as well. If you are struggling with your diet, let us know what is going on. Maybe there's something we can help you with. If you are succeeding with your diet, let us know what you're doing to succeed so we can share it with everybody else. And at the end of the day, what are some things that you are doing that will make staying on your diet easier than the alternative? Go ahead and switch over to the main screen here. I got to dig my phone out of my pocket. I should have had it out already. Oh, I hope everybody had a great day today. Let's see here. I had a very, very busy day, so I'm glad that the work day is over and now I can hang out with you guys and then head home. And I got some fun adventures planned for the evening I'll talk about here in a minute. So yesterday, let's go over, I guess real quick, a bunch of people checking in, or a few people checking in here. Cindy, hello. Carrie, hi. Pretty Girl's mom checking in. Our Tiny Acres checking in. Hello, hello. Our Tiny Acres says it's been a stressful week around there. Been stressful around there this last week, they say. I think we probably have had just a little bit of extra stress because the kids' school is out. So all of our routine and everything is getting kind of thrown off because of that schedule change. So it has been a little bit of a stressful week, and I would imagine it's because of that. I got to switch this over to the other internet. So real quick, I will go over food since yesterday. So I had a wonderful dinner last night, and in fact, I wonder if I still have it up on a thing here. So last night I had a recipe that is shared on our Pinterest board. It is called stewed chickpeas. It's the Instapot stewed chickpeas. I'm trying to see, I had it up on here. So, but if you want to see the recipe, you can go down into the Pinterest board down below and look up the Instapot stewed chickpeas. I got a photo of it here. I actually took some video yesterday. I'm going to try to make a video from it, but let me, why is that so far off? Try this again. Christy checking in saying hi all. Hey Christy, hope you're having a great day today. I'm just trying to get my phone to work. There we go. That was the stewed chickpeas from last night. It is an incredibly easy recipe to make in the Instapot. It is just chickpeas with tomatoes and chopped onions, and then some different seasonings that are in there. And throw it in the Instapot. I think it was for maybe 20 minutes, and then in the recipe it says that you can kind of add your favorite starch to it. Oh, there's dates. That was the surprising thing. I didn't realize it had dates in it. So it has chickpeas, tomatoes, and dates. And the dates are very sweet, or really sweetened it up a lot, and just gave it a different flavor from what I have been having for the last couple weeks, I suppose, or just I feel like it's been a little while since I had anything that was sweetened with dates. But then I added some brown rice that we had cooked up. I added to it to just give it a little bit more volume and a little bit different texture. So that is what I had for dinner last night. I really enjoyed that for dinner. Then today for breakfast, I had my standard oatmeal here. With the steel cut oats and oat groats, then mushrooms, onions, and spinach. Then I had my broccoli. Did I not take a photo of didn't take a photo of my breakfast broccoli. Well, this will have to do. This is actually my lunch broccoli. I had this with potatoes today and a little bit of California balsamic vinegar on top of it as well. So that was the food since yesterday. So really kind of our standard diet. I didn't change anything up. I did have weigh-in Wednesday today. I hope you guys had a chance to go and check out my weigh-in this week. I did have a slight weight gain. I was 266.8 pounds. I'm not concerned about the minor weight gain. I talked about it a lot in the video, but this momentary stall in my weight loss will pass, just like every other stall that I have had throughout this whole challenge has passed so far. In the, over the past 3 weeks or 21 days, I have seen my weight go up. I believe that over the past month, I'm probably still down in weight. But over the past few weeks, my weight has gone up. But it'll come back down. I did pretty much the same thing through the 270s. I got down to like 272 pounds. Thought I had it, I was feeling amazing and everything was going wonderful. And then I had 2 weeks in a row where I gained 4+ pounds. And so I shot back up to 280. And then I had 3 or 4 weeks where I'd lost 4 pounds each week. And I ended up getting back down to nearly 260 pounds. And now I've gained back 6 pounds of that. So I imagine just like the 270s kind of took some time to get through, the 260s will take some time to get through as well. And it's just part of the process. And I've had to learn to become patient with the process, because that's what's been succeeding for me so far. And I'm still 250 pounds down. I don't have to worry about sleep apnea anymore. I don't have pain in my legs and my ankles and my calves from all the swelling. Just everything is improved because I have been eating this way. So even though the scale hasn't done what I wanted it to for the last few weeks, it doesn't mean I'm going to change anything. And I kind of, with what I think people do a lot of times when they're on a diet and things are going well, it's sort of like if you've ever seen videos of somebody on like a canoe or a kayak and they start to lose their balance. And I've seen videos of larger people do this, but you start to lose your balance. And so then you correct, you start to tip to the right. So you go to correct to the left and you end up overcorrecting a little bit too much to the left. So then the boat starts tipping to the left and it tips further to the left than it did to the right. So you go to correct to the right again and you do the same thing and you overcorrect to the right. And you end up going from just having a little bit of a wobble to this big sway back and forth until you capsize the boat. And I think a lot of people do that with their diet, is that things are going along fine enough. And but you want more, you want to get more out of it. So you overcorrect your diet. And by overcorrecting it, it causes you to have to overcorrect again. And then it causes you to get to a point where you end up capsizing like you do on a boat. That reference will make a little bit more sense in a little bit, since I wasn't planning on talking about kayaking until later. But yeah, I'm not concerned about that little bit of weight gain. It could be just extra fluid in my body. I was annoyed at myself that I'm wearing jeans today and not a pair of shorts. So my clothing might weigh a little bit more. The shirt I'm wearing, though, is very light, I suppose, to make up for the fact that I have very heavy pants on. And I think last week I went through and kind of listed off a bunch of non-scale victories that I still hold on to. And, you know, just like I talked about earlier, my sleep apnea, the swelling, things like that. My clothing continues to be a non-scale victory. This shirt I'm wearing right now, I could not have worn it 2.5 years ago. I couldn't have worn this shirt a year ago. So, you know, that's awesome that I'm able to wear this shirt. The pants that I'm wearing today, I bought these pants from Goodwill like a month ago, and they did not fit me. Maybe 2 months ago now, but it was a month to 2 months ago that I went to Goodwill. I bought 2 pairs of jeans. I bought 1 pair of jeans that was a size 42-inch waist, and I bought 1 pair of jeans that was a size 40-inch waist. I had been wearing the 42-inch waist. Today, I'm wearing the size 40-inch waist jeans, and that is wild to me that I am wearing a 40-inch waist pair of pants. I have been in at least a size 42 since the time I was 16 or 17 years old. So it has been a long time since I've been able to wear clothing that's the size clothing that I'm wearing now. And it fits so much better than any of the clothing I ever used to wear fit. You know, I used to wear my clothing very baggy to try to hide, you know, how fat I was. And so to have clothing that actually fits me nicely and kind of it feels good. Carrie here says, woohoo, yes, wearing the size 40-inch waist. Cindy says, awesome. Yes, thank you guys. I really enjoy that I'm able to wear this clothing. You know, I have this whole wardrobe of stuff that I have available to me now that I couldn't wear before. And really the greatest thing is that, you know, everything in my house fits me now. And that has not been the case pretty much forever, that everything in my house would actually fit me. But if I were to grab anything, I would be able to wear it. There are a few things in my house that are too big now that I need to get rid of and do some purging. But for the most part, anything in my house, I am able to wear. Another non-scale victory I've talked about in the past is the belt that I'm wearing. Is a belt that I could not fit in when I first started this challenge. I didn't have any jeans that fit me. I didn't have any belts that really fit me when I was at my heaviest. And so after I had lost some weight and I dug out some clothing, I found this belt that was in my old clothing, that there was an extra hole drilled in the belt to make it larger because I was growing out of the belt and I didn't want to go buy a new belt. So I drilled a hole into the belt to make it larger. And now I've gone through all of the holes in that belt. I've drilled 2 more holes in that belt to make it smaller than it was manufactured. And I'm on the smallest hole in that belt, which is a hole that I drilled into it. And that's pretty awesome. And I'm excited to drill more holes into this belt and take more inches off of my waistline. Carrie says that we just need to take a day and go through everything and just purge it. Yes, it's time for a purge. Yeah, there is a lot of clothing that we need to get rid of. There were a few items that I kind of have been holding on to as like, this was what I wore when I first started. And there's a lot of nostalgia with some of that clothes. Like, I would love to be able to take my entire wardrobe that I used to own and hold up every piece of clothing and be like, this used to be what I wore. These were the pants I had on every day. This is the clothing that, that I survived in. Another thing that I was thinking about this on my way in with the clothing. If you go back and watch my early videos from essentially the time I start, I would say for at least maybe the first 100 days. I bet in 90% of my videos or more, I am wearing a gray t-shirt. Every shirt that I owned that fit me was either gray or black. I had a few red dress shirts, um, uh, or maybe a couple items that were blue. But for the most part, my entire wardrobe was gray t-shirts because they kind of matched the color of the work shirts that the guys around me would be wearing. But I didn't want to order any work shirts that were 5 or 6XL. So I just bought gray t-shirts and wore them instead of anything else. And now I don't hardly ever wear just a gray shirt unless it's a work shirt. All of my other clothing is, colorful like this shirt is, or I have some red or pink or yellow shirts that I wear. And so the color of my wardrobe has really improved and caused a nice little pop in my appearance. I imagine overall I look better wearing different colored shirts than wearing the same gray bland shirt all the time. Um, Cindy here says gray and black also make you not stand out. Yes, you kind of can blend in. Black is slimming, right? And so, yes, those are the colors that I would. Cindy here says blue is my color. Yeah. The shirt, it's funny, the shirt on stream is coming across as really blue, but this shirt is very purple in real life. So I think it must have to do with the little dots on it. But yeah, I like blue, I like red. I don't mind purple or this color. I like it as well. So but just wearing any color, not wearing gray, is pretty awesome. And it's kind of cool to have that going on. Let me see. Uh, so yeah, I even though the scale didn't go the way I wanted, it didn't go the other direction that far. And I really feel like I'm gonna have some big weeks coming up, just like I did last month, and we'll see how that plays out for me over the next few weeks here. Um, and So yes, I've been working today a little bit on editing that video together of the bike ride that I did. I was able to figure out how to kind of stitch. I had like 5 or 6 videos that I took, and I kind of figured out how to put them all next to each other. Now I gotta kind of chop them up and make them an actual video. But I know a lot of people seemed interested in finding out more about the um, bike ride I did. So I might try to put that video out. I have another fun little project that we're going to be working on here for the next couple of weeks. Carrie's family every year does a get together that they do a camp out and a float trip where they go to this campground that they drive you upriver like 5 or 6 miles, and then you can get in the water with they rent rafts and canoes and kayaks. And so you can rent these items from them and then get in the water, and then you float kind of half day or all day down the river until you get back to your campsite. And that's one of the events that they do throughout the weekend, that the whole family is hanging out. One of the things that we have run into the last couple years with this float trip is that we really like to bring our dog places. I've had her on stream here, and just like to do things with her and have experiences and just take her with us. And the last couple years, we've taken her with us on the float trip, but it has become kind of difficult to manage because we're renting the raft from these people that we're putting our family in. But they don't allow dogs in the rafts that you rent. You have to rent a canoe to take a dog. And in the past, we've had family members that rented a canoe. So we just kind of said, oh, well, the dog is going with those people in the canoe, and kind of got away with it, taking her with us because of the canoe. So, anyways, this year, we were trying to figure out a way that we could bring the dog and still follow the rules. And so we're trying to figure it out. And so one of the things that we had talked about was, or that we've been looking into, is how well a inflatable kayak would hold up with our dog. And then that way we would be able to transport it and then inflate it when we get up to the start of the float trip. And then that way we can take our dog with us, enjoy the time with our family and, or Carrie's family, and not feel worried that we're going to damage the property of this company that we're renting out, that they probably wouldn't be very nice if we damaged because of our dog. So, so we did some research over the last couple weeks, looking into some different options, and we ended up finding an inflatable kayak for not too bad of a price. I mean, I would have liked to have spent less money on it, but we ended up buying a, I think it's considered a 3-person kayak. It's a very large inflatable kayak that came in today. So we have like 2 weeks to figure out if this is what we want to do or if this is what we're going to do. So I was messing around with that a little bit today. I had to put the valves on it so you could inflate it, and we got it inflated, and just to check it out and see what it you know, how it looked when it got all put together. I'm excited to give it a shot and do some kayaking. There is a place that is not too far away from our house that is a lake that I'll be able to take it up. And so over the next 2 weeks between now and when we take our trip, we will have to do some training. Our intention is to get 2 of these kayaks and have one kayak where me and Carrie will be in the kayak with our 2 youngest kids, and then have the other kayak where me or Carrie is in it with the dog and the rest of our gear. And so we're going to try some different scenarios. We're going to see how the dog handles being in the water. She's done well in the past, so I'm hoping that she does well with this. Also figuring out getting in and out of it, because it's kind of like a big raft still, so it doesn't, it's not super easy to get in and out of, especially if you're in the water. So I'll be playing around with that over the next couple weeks, and I'm going to try to get some videos or something. I'm very nervous about taking my camera anywhere near the water. So I don't know how much filming I will do on or near the water, but I do want to try to get out and have some fun on the kayak. You know, Carrie was very excited about the idea of us getting a kayak. She's always thought it would be fun to go out and float and canoe like that. Um, so yeah, we're gonna try to get out and do a little bit of exercise or a little bit of activity, I guess, which will then turn into exercise. Just trying to get this going, and it's crazy to me because uh, I never would have fit in this kayak before. For one, there's not a lot of space, um, but uh, it's cool. You know, like this is something that at 520 pounds, I would have said, "Oh, I'd love to go kayaking." But in reality, I knew that I would never really be able to get onto a kayak and be very successful. And then now that we've been looking into kayaking, I've been watching lots of videos. That's kind of where that analogy about the tipping back and forth is. I watched a video of a large guy trying to get on a kayak, and uh he swayed a little bit to the right, so he corrected to the left, and then he swayed a lot to the left, so he corrected to the right, and then eventually ends up capsizing it. And hopefully I don't end up being that way on this little boat. But the um the lake we're going to be riding it on for the next couple weeks is pretty calm. I'm not too worried about there being any issues with that. Annette here says, hi, Jonathan. Hi, everyone. Hello, Annette. I hope you're having a great day today. Ricky checking in here too. Hello, Ricky. Hope you're having a great day as well. Just talking a little bit about the exciting kayaking adventures we have ahead of us. And hoping that everything pans out well and I don't puncture this kayak the first time I take it out. I want to get some actual use out of it. But we did a decent amount of research. We probably could have done more, but there's I'm pretty confident that we bought an appropriate kayak for our needs, especially since we don't know how this is going to pan out, or if we're going to use it outside of this family reunion thing much, or what we're going to do. I know my son with Boy Scouts would have some opportunities to use it, or he's had opportunities to do floating and kayaking. So we may get an opportunity through that. We do have that lake that's not far away from us, so we could definitely use it, up there. But at the very least, we'll have this so we don't have to deal with this dog issue every year going forward. We didn't want to rent a canoe, and just because we're hoping that this is going to be a little bit more manageable to steer and maneuver with a single driver versus what a canoe would be to steer and drive. So that's the goal. Hopefully it works out for us. But I'm excited with the opportunity to play around with it and get out and do some kayaking. I have not been on the water a lot, but I have been trying to think. I went canoeing last year with my son's Boy Scout troop. We went to a place and we did kind of a 5 mile canoe trip down a river. But prior to that, it had been years since I had been on a canoe or in anything like that on the water. And it's cool feeling being kind of like on the water flat. I guess I'd been on a raft at this trip, now that I think about it. So I've been that a few times as well. So, but not at this weight. I'm excited to be out there at 260 pounds and to do some canoeing. Um, and Yeah, so it makes me think the first time I ever remember going canoeing was a trip that I did in high school. I believe it was between my junior and senior year of high school. The science department put together a trip to go to the Boundary Waters in Minnesota. And so what the Boundary Waters is it's an area between Minnesota and Canada where they haven't they don't allow any, any motors or anything in the water up there. They're trying to keep it as natural as possible. So we went up there and we did a canoe trip where there was, I think, 3 groups of kids. There's a limit to the number of people you can have together in the same spot up there. I think it's 9, it's 7 or 9 that you could have in the same area. So we were split up into 3 different groups that we did kind of different things. And my group, we went out and we traveled really far into the woods. Kind of the first day we did a big hike into the woods, and then each day we did little trips from our campsite out into the different areas. And that was the first time I had ever been on a canoe, was this trip up to the Boundary Waters when I was 16 or 17 years old. And I can remember how awesome it was just being on that water. It was so clear and calm and beautiful up there. And just the weirdness of being that close to the water, though, is what I remember from that first trip. But yeah, that was a lot of fun doing that. And I'd love to do something like that again, and for years, I've always wanted to do something like that again, go kind of up to the Boundary Waters and do a camping trip. But I knew it was never possible because of my size. And now I might be able to do something like that. If my kid gets older and wants to take a trip up there, then that would be something we might end up doing. It'd be fun to do. So, but, and we could take our inflatable kayak with us and go up there. The topic for today's video, I'm just getting into it now, but is better every day. And then what was the second half there? Taking control of your diet. But better every day is what I wanted to focus on here. And that says you want to buy a kayak each for your husband and you maybe this summer. Yeah, if we weren't looking for an inflatable kayak because we have to travel, like I already have a luggage thing that I put on the roof of my car for us to go on these trips. So I didn't have anywhere that I could really put a hard-sided kayak. But if you check out like Facebook Marketplace, you can find a lot of kayaks on there for, pretty good pricing. And the plastic single person kayaks seem to be a lot cheaper than this inflatable thing that we bought. And so yeah, you might check it out and see if you can find something that you can get for cheap, or you might even know somebody that has one that would let you borrow it. They seem to be, that maybe the more expensive ones they would be protective of, but a cheaper one they might let you borrow. So yeah, we're gonna find out how it goes and if we like doing this kayaking thing, and then we'll kind of work it from there or see how it goes from there. But yeah, better every day. When I'm thinking about that, the better every day, when I first started this challenge, I think that my mindset was not better every day, but lighter every day. That I would get lighter every day, lose weight every single day, get to a lighter weight every single day. And it can be easy to get focused on that weight loss and hold on to that scale for your success. But over the long run, you have to realize that weight loss is going to slow. It's going to have things that happen like I've had happen this past couple weeks, or, but the overriding principle for me has changed from lose weight every day or lighter every day to being better every day and being healthier every single day. So I know that I got on the scale today and I had gained 0.8 of a pound since last week. And while that is frustrating to see the weight go up, I know that nothing that I consumed in the past week was something that I am ashamed to have eaten or wished I wouldn't have eaten. Everything that I ate for the past week has been compliant. It's been healthy foods. So even if the scale isn't going in the direction that I want it to go, my body's health is, because of the food choices that I am making. I am making the most optimal choice for me when I make my food choices. In the past, that was not I make the most optimal choice when it comes to my health now. Like, that's what I think about when I consume food. When I think about what I'm going to be eating, it's about, is this going to make me healthier? Don't care if it's going to make me lighter. Is it going to make me healthier? Is it going to make me healthier than the alternative? With like, do I eat this potato that I made in the Instapot, or do I go to Burger King? Well, always making the potatoes in the Instapot is going to be healthier than going to the fast food restaurant. So I'm always making the better choices every single day. And that is not the case in the past. In the past, my focus was purely on taste, pleasure, sensory pleasure. It didn't have anything to do with my health. And my health suffered because of it. The swelling that I was suffering from, the sleep apnea I was suffering from, that was all a result from me making poor dietary choices day after day. And now I'm making positive dietary choices day after day, and I'm seeing positive results because of those decisions that I'm deciding. And that's what you have to do. You have to start realizing that this is a focus on your health, and it's about being here for more days. There was a saying yesterday I heard, and it's going to drive me nuts. Um, but uh, I can't remember, but it was, you you give up your your future experiences for this junk food now. Like, I would so much. There's an idea I was thinking about earlier. I didn't write it down or think about it. I didn't plan on talking about it today. But like, in the past, I would settle for just being alive, and uh but it wasn't a life worth living or life worth having. And so but it gets to a point where you have to change. I couldn't have kept going on at 520 pounds. Like, at 520 pounds, maybe I'm still alive today. Um, Maybe I'm still 520 pounds. Maybe I'm 540 pounds, 560 pounds at this point. Maybe I lost some weight. Maybe I would have, finally kicked in if I didn't start at the date I did. Maybe I would have started 6 months later. Who knows? But um, everything at that weight was just so difficult and so miserable and so hard. And now all those things are so much easier for me to do. Um, and they don't even, like, it's almost surprising to me how easy some of these things are. Like, cutting my grass with my push mower is so much easier than I expected. Riding around on a bicycle is so much easier than I expected it to be. Um, and yeah, I wouldn't have made these dietary choices and chosen to, become a healthier, better version of myself every single day. then I would still be living that miserable life that I was living. And uh and it's crazy because I didn't feel like it was miserable at the time, while I was at that weight, I just thought it was my destiny to be the fat guy. I'm going to have to just bear that burden for everybody else, that I'm the unlucky one that had to be the 500-pound person in the room. Um and that I couldn't control it. And now that I've realized that I'm 100% in control of the food that I put in my mouth, and the food that I put in my mouth, maybe it doesn't control 100% of what my weight is going to be, but it controls 98% of what my weight is going to be. The food that I eat is going to give me the health results that I am looking for. And that is something that I feel like many of us know, but we don't believe, or we don't practice it. Like I knew eating broccoli would be healthier for me than not eating broccoli. I knew eating spinach and carrots and red peppers and all those things would be healthier for me than not eating them, but I still chose to not eat them. And then I walked around wondering why I was unhealthy. But, it's because I was buying these meals and I was getting the vegetables removed from them. I'd buy a fast food burger, I get it with no lettuce or tomato. Um, and those things add up. Those things are me making decisions for my taste pleasure, but not my overall health. And that is something that over the past 949 days, I've worked really hard to figure out what to do. And I feel like I've figured it out for me. I know that I need to eat a whole food plant-based diet. I know that when I'm eating salt, oil, sugar free, my weight goes the direction I want it to go more times than not, even though I have been salt, oil, sugar free here for the last few weeks and it's still not going the direction. But I also know that if I would have made poor choice, like I made, in my opinion, amazing choices over the past 3 weeks, and I still gained some weight. If I would have made poor choices over the past 3 weeks, I can't imagine how much weight I would have gained. Um, and yeah, it's crazy how much weight I could have gained had I not still been making the healthy choices that I was making. Um, and you have to realize that, when you're making healthy choices and you still see the scale go up, it's it making worse choices wouldn't have made it any better. And so you shouldn't, use that as an excuse to start making worse choices. I think that I about did it for the day. I don't have a whole lot more to talk about. I appreciate everybody checking out my video here or my live stream. If you haven't had a chance to go over to my weigh-in video and check that out, I would appreciate you going over and checking out that weigh-in video. I'm gonna try to piece together a video for that bike ride. It's not going to be anything too fancy, just me talking into a camera a few times on my bike ride. And then I've been playing around some other videos. It's just really hard. I'm making the videos. I'm just not finding the time to edit them or do anything with them. So hopefully when life slows down, I'll be able to say, okay, now I got a pile of videos to go back and edit and post. But I'll try to do my best to get some more of that stuff up. Thank you guys again. I appreciate it. It does help me stay accountable having you guys here. It's no fun getting on the scale and seeing it go up, but I know that you guys are all going to be amazing about it. It's one of the things I really appreciate about this community here is how awesome you guys have been over these past few weeks, and it helps too. So thanks, guys. If you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you get subscribed to the channel. If you've not clicked on the bell icon, click on that bell icon, and also hit the thumbs up, hit the like button on this video too. I'd really appreciate that. And if you have not started your diet yet, get started right now. There's nothing coming up that is more important than your health or your overall well-being. There's nobody that reaches their goals, looks back, and wishes they would have waited. So get started right now. Carrie here says that when life calms down, yes, when life calms down, I'll start doing those videos. And then she laughs at me like my life will ever calm down. Maybe someday I'll win the lottery and then my life will calm down. All right. You guys all have a great evening. We will talk to you tomorrow.